You do not recognize that this is its real appeal, for the ego has taught you that freedom lies in it. Yet the closer you look at the special relationship, the more apparent it becomes that it must foster guilt and therefore must imprison. And right before a relationship ends, people start talking about how, man, I feel like I'm in prison. I'm stuck in a jail cell with this person.
Right.
And you know what's going to happen? Somebody's got to leave the jail cell.
Right.
The special relationship is totally meaningless without a body. That's what we just discussed. If you value it, you must also value the body. And what you value, you will keep. The special relationship is a device for limiting yourself, little self, to a body, and for limiting your perception of others to theirs. The great rays would establish the total lack of value of the special relationship if they were seen. For in seeing them, the body would disappear because its value would be lost, and so your whole investment in seeing it would be withdrawn from it. So that's where the body disappears. It becomes it goes from being the hero of the dream,
right,
to being a communication device,
right,
to disappearing.
Disappearing.
Because, for instance, in our relationship, we've come to a place where the mind is one.
Right.
We have no need. I am sorry to tell you this if you don't already know, but I have no need for your body.
I'm glad to tell you I don't have any need for it either.
Right. But, okay, so that, in a holy relationship, the body actually disappears.
Right.
Because we're joined at the level of the mind. Now, you, as you're watching this, people that the Holy Spirit is leading us to, it goes, for their purposes, it still becomes a communication device.
Right.
They need to see the body. You need to hear these words, these sounds. You need to see these images,
right,
in order to receive the voice from the real world.
Thought that come to me when you was reading this about when you start out in the course, there is a redefining of everything that our minds laid out under this ego thought system has to be recognized, contrasted with truth, and it's redefined by the Holy Spirit so that it can have a function. The miracle, the forgiveness part, it's not that, hey buddy, I made at you, you offended me, so I'm going to forgive you. No, I just made you guilty.
Right.
And then I just smeared over some false idea
You made
about
sin real.
Right. About I'm going to forgive you. That's not the forgiveness this is talking about.
Right.
This forgiveness is for the Son to recognize nothing happened and to forgive the thought that something did.
Right.
It's about the releasing of this idea of guilt. Guilt is the source of this whole thing. Guilt has expression. It's called fear and attack. Fear and attack. Fear and attack. Because you're trying to protect a false self, a false idea you have of yourself.
Right.
But the forgiveness we're talking about is that when I can see beyond the body, beyond the personality, beyond the symbols, beyond perception, and I can see the Son and the purity and the wholeness and the absoluteness, which is the thought of the Father.
Right. The great rays, as you was talking about. Once you see the great rays, the body disappears.
Right.
And understanding that the light that I am, because my Father is light, I must also be the same light.
The same light.
I see the same light in you, not as a body, because all I'm looking at is the altar. And the altar is not in the body. The altar and the temple are in the mind. Right. And so that's where the light is. It's the light of the altar to the sun. So in that oneness, there's just perfect joining. We've talked before about the heavens and just it becoming one great light.
Right. There's something that I've learned about studying this. As we've worked our way down here, when we're at verse 5, if we jump back up to 1 and look at this, special relationship is the sign. You want to know where you're at,
right?
So you have a sign. It's all about special relationship. This is about how to recognize it, to contrast it, as we said, with truth, and to say, hey, that's not what I want. I've tried that. I'm choosing again here.
Right.
Yeah. See, in this, what I found is that you choose again usually in a crisis, but you remember the Father in peace.
Mm-hmm.
That's the necessary. That's why we have to have a real world of peace. It's because it's in this real world we remember Father because we're at peace.
Right.
But in this crisis, you can choose.
Mm-hmm.
But you're choosing to leave the crisis and enter into a place of peace where you can remember Father.
Right. Now, we're talking about special relationships, and obviously it's an ego thing. So, but remember, special relationships, the Holy Spirit wants them to change into a holy relationship and be, in that special relationship, be a teaching ground, a school,
Right.
If you will, for revealing the Son.
Right.
So, you don't need to run away from your
No.
husband or your wife or dump
No,
your kids.
that's not what this is about.
Right. Now, there are times that separation in the natural is a good idea, but you have to be led by the Holy Spirit.
Right.
And only hearing that voice you'll know what to do. And even in the holy relationship, there are the holy instant with a person could be that gentle bumping of someone in an elevator, and you don't
Right.
you don't yell at them or give them a dirty look, or it could be a long-term relationship or a lifelong relationship.
Right.
But it's not your determination as to what that is.
What you have to realize too here, it says that truth cannot be attacked.
Mm-hmm.
So truth don't attack.
Mm-hmm.
What would truth attack? There's
Mm-hmm.
nothing but
Right.
truth. So this is not, well, I'm going to get on this wagon here and I got grounds to leave you.
Mm-hmm.
That's called separation, and it's also called special relationship actions.
Right.
This is about joining.
Mhm.
This is about love. This is about being led by the voice
Mhm.
that is speaking to you from the real world.
Right.
Again, you must listen to what the Spirit is saying,
Mm-hmm.
not what our words are, but
Mhm.
what is the Spirit saying about the words you're hearing.
Right.
Because that's what you follow.
Mm-hmm.
You don't follow symbols.
Right.
You follow the voice.
Right. And some people come to not the course or any type of quote religious experience or something where they see profound change beginning in their life, and they think, oh my God, I've wasted so much time. I've got to stop and dump everything before this date so that I can dedicate myself to. No, you have to remember that the Holy Spirit has used everything in your world that you made. See, that's so important to recognize that you made your world.
Right.
You chose the family. You showed up in this family with all its problems. You married that person with all their problems. That is part of your learning, and the Holy Spirit uses everything,
Right.
all those things, to be lessons for you to come to truth.
You know what you call it? You call that the bridge
All right. It's a
to the
change of
real
perception.
world. You got everything is a bridge to your reality.
Right.
Everything. The Holy Spirit doesn't see the problem. The Holy Spirit only is the answer.
Right.